Just handouts.
I think that's the thing he doesn't understand.
I know, right?
That would be he's not a salary employee.
You know this isn't helping you.
Yeah, right.
College is not paying for itself.
You're making the homeowners happy.
What's that?
You're making the homeowners happy.
Yeah.
He has gotten a tip.
Oh, really?
They got a $40 tip a week ago from somebody. He got something else like they got a 6-pack of Sprite or something like. There was like this elderly couple. It was kind of cute.
I just moved for the, it's about 30
little over a week ago.
Okay, here we
Now
go.
I'm just starting to get stuff away.
Call to order. We start with the pledge to the flag. Our mission is to encourage everyone to see and be their personal best through successful learning experiences. Become your best. Moving on to item number 4, the adoption of the agenda and consent agenda as the order of business with identification of items to be taken off the consent agenda for discussion or separate action. Is there anything we want added, removed? Do I need to ask for a motion? Second? Nope, we'll move along.
Oh, yes.
I do. Could I get a motion?
We adopt the agenda and consent agenda as the order of business. I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Item number 5, consider approval of consent agenda as adopted. Approve the minutes of May 16th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. Approve financial report for the period July 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. Approve bills for the period May 1st, 2023 through May 31st, 2023 in the amount of $2,527,258.18. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 6, finance, buildings, and grounds. Is that overview? It's an update with Dan Mella, Growing Generations update?
Yes, this is just an update for the board and the community. As you know, maybe you don't know, some of the people in the community, we've had a long-standing partnership with Growing Generations for early childhood education and 4K. Over the past couple of years, we've lost quite a bit of, they've lost quite a bit of enrollment. This past year, they had 14 students, and for the upcoming school year, they only had 6 that were, or 5 was it, that were scheduled, and 2 in Head Start. So, seeing as we have space in our, mentioned last week that our 4K enrollment is a little bit lower coming in as of now, we have space to have those students come to our buildings and still accommodate their daycare back at Growing Generations and shuttle. We're going to take a pause on this year's space there because we financially support that, and as we would in our district, we wouldn't hold a section of 6 or 5 or 6 children when we can fully have those kids be in a regular classroom. We've met with the Growing Generations people, and they're working through their processes for this current school year, and we'll continue to work together to see if we can, and if they can do some things to get enrollment numbers back up there. But as of this year, it's just kind of an update. We're going to be holding those, I think they're all going to end up at Horizon. And we'll do some shuttling to make sure their daycare over at Generations is still taken care of. So just a little update for people.
Why do you think that is, Dan?
Well, we have a lower number 2 this year, and in fact, 4 of the students that were signed up for the program there would be open enrollees to us anyway. They're from the western area towards Fond du Lac. So I don't know why that is, other than the fact that I know birth rates continue to drop, and
So that's the main thing, just not as many births.
yeah. Mhm.
We're not quite there during COVID. During that time, of course, I think birth rates
Mhm.
dramatically dropped as well.
Thank you.
So, any other questions about that? Okay.
All right, moving on to item B, facility update. Sally Isley.
We had a meeting last week. A while back, we talked about the new section, the multipurpose section. During the winter, they had some issues with the ice, and so they had the ice guards up and in place, so it will not ruin the gutters at all or hurt anybody if it slides off. The track is almost done. They're putting layers upon layer on the track, and the draining issues is taken care of and redone. The high school did need a new water system that they hadn't planned on, and there was just some things that came up last year that caused more expense than, of course, things happen, as we all know when you own a house. Same thing, we had the data breach, we had the auditorium here needs work on the sound system, and the cabinets that we've had for a while down in the C section will be put in this summer and done. Riverview, they're getting a little bit of rehab on the fitness center upstairs, because one portion of it, you can't see the whole thing, and so they're going to put in some like big double doors, glass, something, so that you can see the whole thing from the other side. And at Fairview, the east side, the playground area will be done this summer to take care of the drainage issues that they've had, so kids won't have any mud to play in anymore. And that's about it. Any questions?
I saw
Yeah.
the new entrance arch by the field.
Yes, that is done.
That's done.
Yeah, I've not gone over to see it yet
I just
myself.
saw it when I came
Yeah.
in, so, but it looks really cool. Is there any recognition on there?
There's going to be, there's some the same signage that for our major donors, so for the field and that part of it. So Sargento and Masters Gallery will have plaques, but there also will be the other minor donors underneath them on that fascia, on the stone part.
Okay.
So it has lights, so when city lights come on, the lights on that arch will come on also,
Okay, cool.
entering the football field.
Yeah. And that's cool, and I think, it's a benefit too if you just have on there that, this was made by the school and just kind of show it off to our opponents and stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't catching your drift earlier, but we'll have a little thing of the construction group and the lead, yes. There's going to be that too. And again, for the community who don't know, the archway was from start to finish completely built by our students in manufacturing. And they did the whole professional process. We were the client, they came to us, they did a design, they had to reshuffle the design. So that's what Tony was bringing up, is that, and then they took that design, they built it completely, they did all the install. The only thing that they didn't do was the electrical work, because you need an electrician. So then we have one of those in-house, and he did that part. But yeah, it looks really nice, and the kids did the entire thing, which is cool.
Thanks, Tony.
Move over to item C, consider gifts and corresponding budget adjustments.
Me?
Dan?
Yep, well, once again, we always have some gifts that, and donations that are made by our community. We just were mentioning about the facilities that have been donated over the years as well. But these are just some of the more recent ones, and again, thank you to everybody for your contributions. First of all, there was a donation of $1,563.50 from the Lions Club. There was a donation of $66.58 from Parkview PTK for transportation to Maywood. There was a donation of $828.75 from Fairview PTO for transportation to Maywood, the Children's Museum, the Weil Center, and the Shalom Zoo. And there was a donation of $439.93 from Horizon Path for transportation to Betty Bryn and the Weil Center. So all the budget adjustments will be made with that, and we just need a motion to approve those.
I make a motion that we approve the gifts and corresponding budget adjustments.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right, moving on to considering the approval of Plymouth School District's membership renewal to WIAA for the 2023-2024 school year. Dan, are you going through that?
Yep. Yeah, this is just that the board would, again, in order for us to take part in any of the activities that the WIAA supports, including all the roads to state and playoffs and all of that, you have to be a member of the WIAA, and so the board annually has to approve membership for that. And there is a little bit in your background for the motion, but there are no dues, in case anybody's wondering, that are associated with this membership. It's just that we all agree to play by the same set of rules.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the Plymouth School District's membership to the WIAA?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Item 8, period of public participation. Okay, moving on. Item 9, board liaison report, community ed, Sally Isley.
Community ed, there's still stuff going on in the summertime, not just during the school year. If you've not tried kayaking before, they have an intro to kayaking, ages 10 years old and on up. If you don't have a kayak, that's okay. They have one for you to try. They do have fitness classes also. And a class, if you like to move around a lot, I'm not sure how do you pronounce this, jujitsu, it's like karate or something, I'm not exactly sure. That's ages 16 years old and on up. And for the young kids, we have a Friday play date, which is the 2nd and 4th of the month. They have dog training coming up. They have a functional kids fitness, ages 3 through 6. You can have a little bit older kids, if that happens, that's okay. And water exercise, pickleball, basketball, 18 years old and on up. If you've never composted before, they have a class on that, and also a class on how to grow your own microgreens. And there's other classes too. So go on the website and check out Community Ed's classes.
Thank you. Moving on to the foundation. Dan, do you have an update at all?
I can just, again, say thank you to the foundation. They're currently, well, they finished up the big part of the season, which was the scholarship season, and I don't have the exact number here, but it's over $1 million. It's been over $1 million for a number of years that have come to the students of this school district as they're leaving our doors and going on to some next step in life, and the foundation plays a major role in that. A lot of hours of work go into that. They have a lot of fundraisers that they do on an annual basis, and those funds go to funding mini grants and grants for our educators in the district, but also a lot of them go towards scholarships for the students in the district as well. And they do play a major role in when there is a major fundraiser type of activity, for example, the fields or the ag center outside. They act sometimes as a fiscal agent because it's beneficial to the companies and the businesses that are donating to work through them instead of donating directly to the school district. So they do a lot of great things, and I know the board is always looking for additional support and help on those fundraisers. So if you ever feel like getting out and helping, I think they've got another race date set up, so serving refreshments at the races is always something that they do as well.
All right, sounds good, thank you. Moving on to the Family Resource Center, Kathy Turner.
Family Resource Center also has programs available in the summer. There's a Tots Play Group at the Plymouth Public Library on the second and fourth Thursday of the month during the summer months. It's from 10 to 11 for 0 to 3-year-olds, and it's free unstructured play. There's the Biddy Book Club at the Mead Public Library, which is an interactive toddler book club. That's on the third Tuesday of the month, either at 9:30 or 4:30, and that is for 2 to 5-year-olds. There's a game night at the Mead Public Library on Monday, June 26th, next Monday, from 4:30 to 5:30. That's for all ages, and there is no registration. And everybody's favorite, BYOB, Bring Your Own Baby at Above and Beyond Children's Museum. That's the third Thursday of the month, either at 9:30 or 4:30, ages 0 to 2. That does require registration. So that's all I have for you now.
Sounds good, thank you. Moving on to item 10, personnel changes. Dan Miller?
Yes, we've got, we'll start with the personnel. We can approve them all together. But we'll do the resignations first, and then we'll move into the new hires. So if we can just go through the new hires first, we can get them approved. Just wanted to check something on here. But in the personnel, the first thing that we need to do, is consider the approval of some changes to our support staff handbook. And for that, you've got this in front of you, but Amy will present that to you.
Yeah, so the changes that we are going to propose and hopefully get approved are kind of twofold. We're still waiting for information about the state budget for next school year. So right now, projections and everything where we're landing seem to be, they're showing that we're going to end the year pretty much where we had budgeted back in October. In July, we'll have hopefully a preliminary budget for that, but we feel very confident about the changes that we're proposing based on the information that we know right now or that we think are going to happen. But in addition, it's also an effort for us to enhance the staff experience, to continue to improve our benefits and, stay on top of what we can offer our employees. So all of you received a handout with the proposals that I'm going to go through. We're going to do support staff handbook first. The first proposal is to increase it's a stipend, it's a above and beyond stipend for our support staff who are maxed out on the salary schedule in their category. So if they don't receive a pay increase, they can receive this above and beyond stipend. It's currently at $750. We would like to increase it to $1,000. Dan, should I just read all of these, or should they be approved separately?
I think you can read them all, and they
Read
can
them
then
all?
have questions about any individual one, and then
Okay.
approve them en masse.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? Okay. The next category is some changes to wage rates that we found were very, very low. They are mainly in our food service department. At some time throughout this year, Karen gave me a pamphlet that showed the lowest food service wages, I think, in the state, and we were on there. So we had a discussion that we needed to, look at comparables and make some adjustments to food service pay rates. So you'll see, I listed the current hourly rates, and down below in red are the proposed rates. The server cook is going up about $2 per hour. Assistant cook, roughly 70 cents per hour. The head cook position, we are looking to eliminate from the support staff handbook because we have our chef position, which is that position, so we don't need that listed any longer. Our driver increasing about $1 an hour. And then outside substitute rates for food service, teacher aides, and custodial, we would like to increase $2 per hour from 12 to 14. In addition, we were just looking through everything, and in our business office, we currently have an administrative assistant to the superintendent. And after doing some, getting some information, doing some research, most school districts, that position is considered an executive assistant to the superintendent. So we have a job description and a different title that we would like you to consider approving, along with a change in pay rates for that position to better match comparables around in the surrounding area. Are there any questions about any of that?
Under the proposal, you have 3 columns. So like 1, 2, 3.
What?
Yeah, it's just starting rate to the top rate and the midpoint.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Okay.
it's starting middle and the high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're proposing the starting rate under the food service?
They all shifted, yeah. You can see, yep. If the starting rate changed, then they all shifted some.
Yeah, so for example, the red server cook did start at 11 something and now is at 13 something. The middle point is up $2 as well, and the high point's up $2 as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed it, but the executive assistant to superintendent position, the wage scale must have went up by a percentage, because it seems like it's not, went up $1.33 for the low level, went up $4, no, $3.84 something cents, and then went up $6. Is there
Right. So
a rhyme or reason?
the comparables, it's more of a range of like a salaried range. So I converted it to hourly rates. Just after doing some collection of salaries in the surrounding area and what this position makes, that it's a pretty big range. So we designed the hourly rates so that we had flexibility in, depending on experience and things like that. So it is a wider range than most of these other ones.
Yeah.
Any other questions? No? Okay,
Do you wanna do
that's
that?
letter A.
Do you want to do that approval first? Can approve those first, and we'll go to the teacher side of things?
Sure. Okay, a motion and a second to consider and approve the changes to the 2022-2023 support staff handbook for the 2023-2024 school year.
I move we consider and approve the changes to the support staff handbook.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes?
Yes. All right, now we'll move on to consider updates and changes to 22-23 teacher employment framework for the 23-24 school year.
Yep, so we are proposing to add 2 additional extracurricular positions, a model UN advisor with an annual pay of $750, and a show choir music director with the same amount of $750. These were proposed by Dan Knaus, and, you know, quite frequently, these programs will run for a few years, and then if we see that they are, you know, taking off, that they have good attendance, then we will propose to make them a Schedule C or extracurricular position.
And this is in line with what we've been working on for quite some time with our extracurricular pillar, in that we review every year and try to expand and broaden it from what it is to include more kids in general, but more interests too. And so I think this is a good example of seeing a broadening of our extracurricular offerings into an area that will include more kids, but kids with broader interests as well.
So these are funds, these are existing positions, right? No,
No, these
No,
would be
these are
new
new.
positions,
we have a show choir.
but it wasn't paid before
Okay, that's kind of what I was saying.
on the
Yeah.
Schedule C, yeah.
The director was not paid,
Okay, so now they will be paid.
correct.
All right. Is this in line to coaching positions, or is that much different?
It's done
It
by,
depends.
it's kind of you look at the total hours that you meet to practice, how many competitions you might have, and you try to equate it by the time
Hours of-
spent. And so it is in line with more of our activities for sure.
Okay.
Because they don't meet every single day. It's kind of based on time. That's what we try to do.
Okay.
Any other questions about that? Okay, the last one is regarding personal leave or personal days for teachers. Currently, the teacher framework states no more than 3 personal days may be used at one time. We would like to change that to no more than 5 personal days may be used at one time or over the course of one school year. So just a little history on personal days. Teachers receive 1 personal day a year. And once they accumulate, they can roll over up to a max of 3. So they could use 3 in a school year. They can also work curriculum time in summer for personal days, and those could be used in those 3. So they could use their framework day that they got, curriculum, personal days that they earned, or a combination of them. As you know, the years have gone on, we find that there's a greater need for teachers to maybe have a little bit more flexibility to take a couple more days off, whether that be for, you know, weddings, family vacations, college visits, you know, their children are participating in college sports or whatever the case may be. It still takes time for them to have the number of, you know, to have 5 personal days, but we would like them to have the option to use up to 5 instead of 3.
And I'll just mention too that this, part of what we've been doing in terms of sustainability of our staff is to try to improve the staff experience. We do meet with some representatives from the staff on a regular basis. And some concept like this, expanding what they could actually use their personal days for, is, you know, something that they had a direct interest in, and we had a discussion about it, and that it's led to this. So we are listening to our staff and the, you know, the things that they're requesting of us, and so this would be a result of that discussion.
So then those 2 things are up for approval, and then I have one other thing just to chat about, but it's not up for approval, so.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion and second for considering the updates and changes to 2022-2023 teacher employment framework for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. The only other thing that we wanted to let you know, in addition to these changes, we are starting discussions about bringing back pay for staff subs. Years ago, we had that for teachers, and it was removed,
Act
maybe
10.
10 years ago, yeah, around Act 10. And, you know, the need for substitutes and coverage in our classrooms is greater and greater every year. So we're just starting to have conversations about that, collecting data about that. So as time goes on, we'll bring more information to you and a proposal. But that goes along with staff experience and, you know, how can we make things better. So, thank you.
Moving on.
So I'll just introduce there are some resignations. We'll get through the resignations, and then when we get to the end of the resignations, we will approve them all at once. So first, the board will consider the resignation request from Kelly Briggs, speech and language pathologist at Horizon Elementary School, effective at the end of the 22-23 school year. And Kelly was, how many years? Oh, it doesn't have it on there. Okay. So Kelly Briggs. The second one would consider the resignation request from Field Lehman, art teacher for the elementary schools, effective at the end of the 22-23 school year. Then consider the resignation request from Brianna McDonald, kindergarten teacher at Fairview Elementary School, effective at the end of the 22-23 school year. And consider the resignation request from Brianna Damcott, kindergarten teacher at Parkview Elementary School, effective at the end of the 22-23 school year. Those are the resignations that would need to be approved.
Okay, we need to make a motion, a second for the teacher resignations.
I move we accept the teacher resignations.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And then I will get into some of the replacements. First of all, consider the approval of a 100% contract for Todd Hunt to be principal at Parkview Elementary School beginning with the 23-24 school year. As you know, Todd was a principal in the district for many years before, and he's here today. So Todd, do you want to say anything at all? Do you have a prepared speech?
Yeah, you have about an hour. Just excited to be a part of this amazing school and can't wait to lead it in continue great direction.
And I believe your children are there?
I have 3 of them, yes.
Oh, boy. All right, and then consider the approval of a 100% contract for Shauna Sabrin to be a school psychologist for the district beginning with the 23-24 school year. Shauna received her bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. This will be Shauna's 10th year working in schools as a psychologist. Consider the approval of a 100% contract for Matthew Olig to be an occupational therapist for the district beginning 23-24 school year. Matthew received his bachelor's and master's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Concordia. This will be Matthew's first year of working in school districts, not his first year as an OT, however. And again, it's another example of one of our alumni coming back to be with us. Sorry there, Bob. Then consider the approval of a 100% contract for Tiana Jackson to be a special education teacher at Riverview Middle School, beginning with the 23-24 school year. Tiana received her bachelor's degree and master's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. This will be Tiana's second year of teaching. And then finally, consider the approval of a 100% contract for Cassie Winter to be a third grade teacher at Fairview Elementary School beginning with the 23-24 school year. Cassie received her bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin Green Bay and her master's degree from the University of Wisconsin Concordia. This will be Cassie's 16th year of teaching. So those are all the new contracts coming in.
All right, we need to make a motion and a second to approve those contracts.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
We have a support staff update that goes along as well. This does not require any action, just information. So Adrienne Stone, Administrative Assistant to the District Office, has submitted her resignation. Adrienne has served the Plymouth School District for 7 years. Cheryl Schicker, Special Education Aide at Parkview Elementary School, has submitted her resignation. Cheryl has served the Plymouth School District for 19 years. Stephanie Back, Special Education Aide at Horizon Elementary School, has submitted her resignation. Stephanie has served the Plymouth School District for 5 years. Kim Welsh, Special Education Aide at Plymouth High School, has submitted her resignation. Kim has served the Plymouth School District for 3 years. Ian Strigi, Special Education Aide at Plymouth High School, has submitted his resignation. Ian has served the Plymouth School District for 1 year. Micah Schermacher, Special Education Aide at Parkview Elementary School, has submitted her resignation. Micah has served the Plymouth School District for 1 year. Chad Weimer has been hired as a custodian at Horizon Elementary School. And those are the support staff updates. No action required.
Okay. Bob, you want to handle the rest, or? All right, I'll just keep going.
You're doing well.
Moving on to item 11, travel. We need to consider or make approval of the out-of-state travel request from Tracy Heinbach, Agri Science teacher to take high school students to the Youth World Show in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, July 30th through August 2nd, 2023. This request is in line with board policies. Expenses will be responsibility of students and/or their parents through fundraising. Can I name them all off and then approve at the end, or should I do them one at a time?
Let's do one at a time on these,
Okay.
in case there's a
Need a
question.
motion and a second.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right. Item B, consider the out-of-state travel request for Tracy Heinbach, Agri Science teacher, to take high school students to the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana, October 31st through November 4th, 2023. This request is in line with the board policies. Expenses will be the responsibility of the students and/or their parents through fundraising. Need a motion and a second?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, item C, consider the out-of-state travel request for Romy Herrera, a Spanish teacher, to take high school students to Colombia during spring break of 2025 and also Costa Rica during spring break of 2027. This request is in line with board policies. Expenses will be the responsibility of the students and/or their parents through fundraising. A motion and a second.
Move to approve the request.
I move we approve the request.
No, I made the motion,
I
sorry.
second it then.
There you go.
All in favor?
Yes.
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 Sorry, Bob, I didn't hear you.
No, that's all right.
Oops, let's move backwards here. We do not have any additional items to the consent agenda, and we can move towards the president's report.
Wow, I made it just in time
Sure
to make
did.
my report. And I'm sure you're going to talk all about it, but congratulations to the women's soccer team in winning state. Great article in the paper, just great to see the news reports on TV. A lot of hard work over a lot of years. The girls had it, were close, didn't quite get there, and now they've gotten there. So a great thing and great to see, and very, very proud of that group, as well as all of our students. We achieve great things here in Plymouth. Regarding the board itself, we have work to do. We have to find a replacement for Mr. Mella. So we will be getting that work Tonight, we'll be doing some work on that, and then moving forward, I plan to use the President's report to keep the public updated as to the progress and what we are doing, but we want to set an aggressive schedule to seek out and find the replacement for Dan, so then Dan can have some time with that replacement, if it's possible anyway, to help mentor and to kind of ease the transition. So that's the plan right now, and we've got a lot of work ahead of us for it. So that's all I've got. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, again, congratulations to the girls soccer team. That is the first team state championship that we've had for the females at Plymouth High School. So that is really fantastic. Yeah, it is. And yeah, it was a great game. A lot of work that girls have put in over the years, and I think it was Yoshi, our trainer. The philosophy was with this group, we're gonna outwork and out-tough people, and so the games kind of reminded me a little bit of, for those of a certain generation, the Muhammad Ali fights against George Frazier or George Foreman, or I think Frazier, where he played rope-a-dope against just let him punch himself out.
Yeah.
Well, I thought our girls kind of just let him go. They got tired, and both in the first and second half, by the second half of each of those halves, our girls were dominating because they were in better shape and they were tougher. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yes, congratulations to them, well-deserved. So our summer school is up and running and going great over at, other than one computer glitch, right, we're trying to get schedules out, but otherwise, the things are going great over at our summer school program. And so it's always exciting to see lots of people, lots of kids experiencing new things, and again, a couple of really exciting new classes that we're offering this year through the DNR that are helping get some of those certificates for safety in the outdoors that our kids really need, and having it be convenient here is wonderful. And then another thing is that in summertime, it's the time of work and busyness. So as you're coming into this building, or as you're going into pretty much any other building, those little touch-ups are being done, as well as some major work. So things like the entryway to one of the driveways on our parking lot was really getting out of shape, and so now we've got that thing being fixed. And on this building, the water over at Fairview, all kinds of work is being done. It's really the aggressive time of the year for getting all that work done. To the physical plant, and so our custodian maintenance group is really working hard on that. But our teachers continue to work all summer too, and they are putting in time on curriculum. So I know the state budget was mentioned a little bit earlier, and I think our advocacy with our legislators has paid off, in that we are in at least the agreement as it's being leaked out slowly seems to be in advantageous to our district, especially as a low spending district. So one of the things that's kind of attached to that at the same time is, you might have seen a bill about the science of reading. And if you remember, we had one of our reading specialists come in and talk about the fact that we've been working on that for 2 years now, and we've already had about 41 of our teachers who have spent either have gone through one full class or 2 full classes of that process. And that is, it is the science of reading. So again, our PD is kind of ahead of the game with the state. This bill is coming out, and for a lot of people, it's like, whoa, what's this bill about? But Dina and our reading specialists and our principals have been working on moving in that direction and showing some positive results as well for the last couple of years. So, and again, they're back at it. It's summertime. It's that busy time of year for work in literacy, work in improving and upgrading our special ed, both practices and procedures and materials, and our math. We've been using Bridges for a while now. We've had some good results, but we've had a lot of people that have moved on and new people that have moved in. And so sometimes you need to kind of convene and kind of get back on the same page with what we're doing when you've had a number of people that have turned over. Because some of this stuff and materials and resources are you have to understand them to use them properly. And I think we need to continue to work on that kind of training as well, and we are, and that's the hard work that gets done in summer by our teaching staff as well. So we've got great things going on for students and great things happening in our physical plant and our preparations for next school year. I was on the TV 14 show earlier today. Mr. Briggs kind of films that earlier in the day, and he said, it's only 1 month and 2 weeks until the start of sports in fall already.
Oh, my goodness.
So this next school year will be here before you know it, so looking forward to it. And that's my report.
All right, thanks, Sam. Now, I need a motion to vote to adjourn into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.851 subsection C, to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation of a public employee over which this governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, to review the district administrator evaluation and review the district administrator job description, and to approve closed minutes from the May 16th, 2023 Board of Education meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Dan?